already starting the video. Okay, first off I wanted to start this off kind of by talking about last video because that was a lot of comments, more than I expected. If we're gonna do this, we're gonna have to be a little bit respectful of each other. And there was a little bit of stuff on there that was a little bit, I just want to say almost, slightly insulting about the comments. I know with the internet it's easier to be anonymous and not have to be responsible for things that you say, but we should, as a whole, as a community, as people, as human to human, be respectful of people's opinions, and then people will be respectful back to you. It's just like that. It's like throwing a ball. You know, they throw the ball and they're only going to throw it back to you if you're respectful to them and you don't throw it right in their head or aim for their eye. So I am glad that people talked about it, but I also would like us to be able to have cool conversations about it. You like that? I like that too. Anyway, what movie I'm going to talk about? I don't know. There's like 17 that I'd like to talk about. Let's talk about Sling Blade. I don't think that's been reviewed actually. This is one of those movies that I kept seeing, like it'd be like recommended to me by Netflix, and I'd just be like, nah, it doesn't appeal to me. And it usually wouldn't, because there's something about Billy Bob Thornton that just like, it's like when you have a wrinkle in a shirt and you keep ironing it and you can't get that wrinkle out. But sometimes how I feel about him, there's nothing that really enamors me about him. I don't know, I've really not seen a lot of stuff that he does. This is his big, huge career thing. And it was around that time when he was dating Angelina Jolie and they had vials of blood. That right there is enough to, you know, push you a little off kilter about stuff and not want to get familiar. Like, it's basically a story about what they kept referring to him as, and I'll use the term as they said, retarded in the movie. But I don't really think that I don't know, it's hard to tell exactly what he was. But Billy Bob Thornton plays the main character who's been hospitalized in a state mental facility for, I think it was something about 17 years or so. And he is finally released, and like it starts off with these two girls coming to interview, and they have all these rules and stipulations about how don't look them in the eye, and you know, the light has to be dim, so it makes you think like the guy's a nutball. And it turns out he's just a really simple, nice guy. You know, he's had a rough childhood. He was confused. He ended up murdering his mom and dad, which, you know, that's bad, obviously. And because of that, it just totally spoiled his life and kind of made him miss out on society. And I think he becomes like a big outsider. He doesn't know how to relate. He doesn't, I don't know if it's because of his disability that he has these troubles, but he gets out and he doesn't really know where to go. And he kind of ends up at a house with, because he meets this kid that's pulling laundry out. The family's totally cool. They're like, yeah, you can come stay with us. He needs a male role model. So what if you're in the state mental facility for 17 years? He's not very forthcoming about why he's there. He tells the kid, and the kid's like, well, I probably shouldn't tell my mom that. And so in the end, he does become honest, and he tells the lady, and she seems to be a super woman, because she's like, oh, it's cool, man, that's cool, stay in and keep on living in the garage. He gets a job where he is basically working on, he's like a tinker, and he could fix things, and like that stuff just makes sense. So maybe he's what they call an idiot savant. It's a weird film because like some of the characters, John Ritter's in this too, and his character just, I don't know what it is about it. I think it's his haircut. His haircut in the movie just makes me like, just kind of like, it's so bad. Oh, here's an interesting thing. When he's asked about if he ought to kill someone, he kind of like just like, I don't see no reason to, or something like that. And that's another thing, is Billy Bob has this his character, he did a good job. You know, he did a really nice job on his character. It's very, like, the way he walks, his posture, it just makes you just, you know, the way his jaw, even, he held his jaw very interestingly in this movie. But they keep asking him, you know, are you going to kill somebody? He's like, I don't see a reason to. So that's kind of like a little foreshadowing, right? So it comes down to the fact that this little kid that he lives with, the boyfriend of the mom or father, I don't remember, it's very odd, is abusive. But it's not to the point where it's, like, they say he's abusive and whatnot, he's beat her up. But it's not to the point where, like, it seems that she would fear for her life, because she takes him back in, this boyfriend, after kicking him out. But then at the same point, it's, like, made to imply that he'll follow them anywhere they go if they try to escape him. That part was just a little bit like, yeah. Well, anyway, so it comes down to it, where is Billy Bob going to kill the gross boyfriend because he's kind of a jerk and an asshole and abusive? You'll have to find that out by watching the movie, because I'm not going to tell you, because it's on Netflix, and if you don't have Netflix, you know, these days, you know, but there's other ways to find stuff online. You know what I mean? I would say, yeah, watch it. This is one of those movies that you can watch and maybe do a little something, you know, knitting or something while you're watching it. It's comfortable enough that you can watch it with your parents even. So, all in all, it's not a bad movie from the 90s. I could see why it got all the accolades it did, but I don't know that I would ever watch it again. It's good to have under your belt, though. Sling Blade.